Shalom Israel, first and foremost, I do want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem HaKadosh, born to the apostles, and that was a great millstone for teaching us this truth, peace, and blessings to the whole of Israel. Yahweh is the name of the friendly Jacob by Hashem is the name, Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back in the lesson, as you within the title, there's truth behind every joke. And you're going to be going to this video, which you're going to see right here within the background, which you pretty much see is all Edomites but one. And I believe, he's a Jake. But you're gonna see what these devils do. Which they're gonna call it, a funny video, it's just a joke, it's just a prank. And yet, in reality, there's truth behind it. Of this hatred this devil has for you. But you can see throughout various actual situations that take place, where you have Jake in the midst of Edomites or heathens, whatever the case may be. Which I'm thinking of as one particular situation where you had Jake that went hunting, I believe, with a group of Edomites, and they came back and pretty much told the police that the dude tried to attack him. Right, a 1v5 or 1v6, however many it was. Even when they had weapons. He went crazy. He started to try to attack us. But this is going to play real quick. And, I'll further expound these points throughout the lesson. Lords will be edifying. Let's dive right into it.
This is what happens when you self-sack.
And the fact this dude, let them, do this to him, even as a joke, as a funny video, it'll go viral. It's just through. This is a problem that you see, especially dealing with Jake. You see a lot of videos where, one singular Jake in the friend group of, various Edomites, and he's always, the butt of the joke. The one being made fun of. Because Jake wants to be, fit in, wants to be a groupie. But this is how they want to treat you, how they feel about you. You're looking into too deep, man. It's just a video. It's just a prank. It's just a funny video, guys. So you have people trying to justify these things. Let's look at these comments. It says could have picked literally any other guy to be the actor, bro. Generally could have picked anyone to self-set. So without context, this looks crazy. This is racially motivated, yeah. So out of all the people in the group, says they know the history and purposely pick the black guy. Interesting. So even people are pointing it out. But they're obviously gonna say, it's just a funny video. It's just a prank. It's just a video. Yeah, we're speaking of Esau Edom here. But Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. This would be a quick hit. I came across that video. Thought it'd be interesting to dive into. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rests, so is his wickedness. So this devil's not to be trusted in any way possible. Which we have been given this knowledge and understanding for a reason. As you get in scripture, how the book was written for our foretime, for our learning, for our understanding. Isaiah 31-3 says, woe to rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover they covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Verse 2, that walk to go unto Egypt, and have to ask in my mouth to strengthen themselves and strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3, which is the main point, says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusions be your shame and confusion for trusting in this devil. Make sure my voice is on. Okay. That's the problem with Jake, because they always want to fight tooth and nail for this devil. And look at how he treats you. Oh, come on, man. You're looking too deep into the video, man. It's just a prank. This is the problem with Jake. They want to sweep everything this devil has done under the rug, all the atrocities this devil has committed, the bloodshed this devil has spilled. And look at how he feels as go back to the title. There's truth in every joke, which that's a saying. Let's see. Let's get the correction here. It says saying there's a grain of truth in every joke. I'll probably use that as a title. If that's the correct saying. This is a saying there is a grain of truth in every joke reflects how humor frequently acts as a defense mechanism or a subconscious way to express genuine thoughts and feelings. A whole group of Edomites and they choose one Jake. But he's the only Jake in that group, unless there's Israelite foreigners, but it don't look like it. They literally put duct tape around the dude, picked him up, hog-tied him, and act like they're going to throw him in the fire. What kind of joke is that? The fact that dude let them do that. He's an animal called a raccoon. If you get what I'm trying to say. But it says active defense mechanism or a subconscious way to express genuine thoughts and feelings. So even when exaggerated, many jokes are based on relatable observations, allowing people to vent frustrations or test boundaries safely. So we got that. It gets Psalm 58:3. This is the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So this is a natural born liar. As you also get Psalm 55:21, going to punish this devil having a silver tongue. He's a smooth talker. So he may seem like your friend, but he has other intentions behind these words. Actually, we'll get 21 real quick. And it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were soft than oil, yet with a drawn sword. Let's get another translation. See, let's get the NLT. And it says, his words are as smooth as butter, but in his heart is war. His words are soothing as lotion, but underneath are daggers. Let's get the GNT. His words are smoother than cream, but there was hatred in his heart. And that's where we're going to go into another point you have to listen to, that deep hatred this devil has for our people. When you clearly see what's in that video. Even if it was a so-called joke and prank and a funny video to make, there ain't nothing funny about it. Because once that we got that meaning of there's a grain of truth in every joke. So they're displaying their true, thoughts and genuine feelings in the midst of that so-called joke. You have people in the comments, pointing at it also. So people are now beginning to, pick up on these things. And you have, literal situations that are actually like that. Brought that one point dealing with that one Jake that went hunting with multiple dudes, multiple Edomites. Which I believe I made a lesson a while back going into it. But once they try to make it out to be that the Jake supposedly attacked them. One guy versus however many with weapons. But that's just his devil for you, which we're getting right here. So his words were soothing as oil, but they cut like sharp swords. He's a devil. But especially goes into deceiver. Not to be trusted, which is the main point I'm trying to make. It's 1 Peter 5:8. And it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. This devil wants to take you out. He wants to get his hands on you. Pretty much uses that so-called funny video to display their actual thoughts. The way they feel about you, but in a so-called joking manner. It's just a joke, man. You're looking at it a little deep. And yet people want to justify these things. And which you can find very similar views like that, and especially actual situations where you have Jake end up getting taken out, especially Eve. As it be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil as a roaring lion walketh about seeking whom he may devour. This is Ezekiel 35:5, another great point. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. That word perpetual goes to never ending, everlasting, a continuing hatred, which is the was kept since the beginning. And yet many of our people think this hatred has went away, that he has changed his ways. But soon he's going to show his true color, he's going to show his horns. And it says, and has shed the blood of children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And this is the closing scripture. Here's Psalms 83, to go to show, which this devil's not your friend, but your foe, your enemy, as was, these heathen nations. And it says, I'll start from verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So you had these nations coming together to go against us, to keep us under. As we're going to further read, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And it's a list off our enemies, just a few examples. The tabernacles of Edom, so-called white people, and the Ishmaelites, dealing with the Arabs of Moab, dealing with their Chinese, and the Hagarians, and so on. And that's the point. Just watching something quick and to the point. I came across that video. I thought it'd be something interesting to dive into, because that's just his devil displaying his true intentions, the way he feels about you. But Lord's will, quick and to the point. I don't close out. Give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Mashah, Bashem, Karkadash, and Shalom. See you next one, Lord's will.